What's up guys? It's Frank with Synergy Training and Bodybuilding Bros. Today is Sunday, April 20th, and I am 6 days out from my first bodybuilding show for this season, my first time competing since 2014. And I actually have 3 lined up, 3 weeks in a row. This first one's gonna be OCB in Pittsburgh, and then I have a WNBF show in New York, and then probably an OCB show here in Baltimore after that. Before I get into the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel. That way you can keep up with my peak week and all of my competitions this year. And also make sure you subscribe or go follow me on Instagram. I will have a link in the description. It's gonna take me some time to get all the videos up here on YouTube, but Instagram is instantaneous. So make sure you follow me there for a lot of quick updates. I'll definitely get a lot of peak week updates up there for you, and also show results and things like that. So please do that. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. I just hit 9,500, so hopefully we'll hit 10,000 soon. That would be awesome. So if you're not subscribed, please do that as well. Give the video a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below to help me continue to grow this channel. So just wanted to give you all a prep update, and as I head into peak week. So this past week, my calories were 2325. I was still doing 10 to 11,000 steps every day for cardio. I did not hit a new low this week. My all-time low was 174.2 pounds the week before. And then I think this week I was like 174.4 or 0.6 as my low weight. But my average weight came down a half a pound, or like about 0.25%, which is perfect at this point when there's not much body fat left to lose. So I'll throw up some posing footage from yesterday morning. This is first thing in the morning, no food or water or pump. After 7 low days, so very flat. I skipped a refeed this week because as I go into peak week, carbs are going to be coming up anyway, so it didn't really make sense to do a refeed day like I had been doing on Fridays. So super flat. Again, check out Instagram. A lot of other prep photos and things like that in different conditions with a pump. So make sure you check that out too. So posing's looking good. Even though, like I said, I didn't hit a new low, definitely got leaner this week, and I actually ended up hitting an all-time low today on Sunday, so 174.0. So that's a good sign, and definitely getting leaner, lots of more vascularity and things I'm noticing. So my calories are staying low through today, and then for peak week, so to get into my plan for that, basically just going to do like a progressive linear load where I'm going to slowly up the carbs and calories every day as we get closer to show day to fill out that glycogen and get rid of a lot of fatigue and things like that. So starting tomorrow, calories are going to slowly start to ramp up. Going to be, assessing my physique a couple times a day. I'm working with a coach now. Just over the past couple of weeks, we started working together. So that way he's going to help me as well, since I haven't done this in such a long time. I did do pretty much all of my prep leading up to this point on my own. But again, because peak week is a little more complex and I'd like to have an extra set of eyes and opinion, decided to work with a coach for these for the past couple weeks so we can get to know each other, and now for getting into my competitive season. So cardio wise, things will taper off. So 10 to 11,000 steps per day is kind of what I've been doing all prep, just for my cardio. No other real cardio that I've been doing. So starting tomorrow, again, going to slowly taper that off over the course of the week, end up probably about half of that, so like 6,000 per day, probably by Friday, stepwise, again, to reduce fatigue, make sure my legs are recovered. And then training wise, things are going to stay the same through probably Tuesday or Wednesday. Hit my last heavy quad day today, because quads in particular tend to get a lot of like inflammation and edema, so you want to make sure those have plenty of time to recover before getting on stage. I'll hit some like glutes and hamstrings tomorrow, and then Tuesday, Wednesday will be upper body stuff, and then Thursday, Friday will be very light pump up kind of stuff, just to keep the muscles pumped up as I'm carving up, get the glycogen filled out. Probably just very light legs on Thursday, and then Friday will just be kind of upper body pump stuff before the show on Saturday. And then diet-wise, so aside from increasing the carbs, probably going to decrease fiber over the course of the week to reduce any like gut bulk and edema. And I'm also going to be switching to kind of what's like a low FODMAP diet. So I'm going to try to cut out any carb sources that can cause any sort of like bloating and inflammation. So things I'm going to be limiting are oats to like 40-gram servings. I've been doing like 80. So 40 grams. I'm going to cut out a lot of things that I've been eating every day in my diet. So no apples, broccoli, no like wheat, rye, or oat cereals like Cheerios or things like that. Cutting out pasta, beans, pretzels, even sriracha, because that has garlic in it, which can cause some inflammation and some bloating. So I stopped at Aldi yesterday, picked up a lot of these things, stopped at a couple other places, picked up some stuff online that I'm going to be using, and wanted to show you all kind of the foods that I'm planning to eat over peak week. So veggie wise, like I said, no more like broccoli or cauliflower. So green beans I'm going to include. Those are like considered low FODMAP. Carrots are going to be a good veggie source, and kale. I am going to reduce my fiber probably starting on like Thursday to get like minimal fiber, like 20 grams or less per day. So by then I'll probably cut out a lot of veggies or all veggies, but for this earlier part of the week, still going to include those. No apples, but I will have some probably blueberries and strawberries. Again, once I try to limit my fiber, I'll probably switch my fruit to just bananas probably, since you get more carbs to fiber ratio with something like a banana as opposed to berries. Potatoes are going to be a really big carb source for me this week. So I got some sweet potatoes and these yellow potatoes. So going to be carbing up with a bunch of those. Again, there is fiber in those. So rice is going to be a big one for me, probably towards the end as my carbs get really high and I'm trying to limit fiber. Rice is going to be a big one for me. So rice cakes, like I said, gonna probably incorporate those. This crispy rice cereal, 0 fiber, 36 grams of carbs in a serving. Quinoa is also pretty good. Again, it has a little bit more fiber, so I'll probably have this like first half of the week and then switch over to pretty much rice after that. And then Gatorade, picked up a couple bottles. This is mostly for show day, just for some quick carbs and like electrolytes if I'm looking a little flat or need some more vascularity. Same thing with these peach rings. These are just going to be for show day, probably like right before pumping up. And if I end up on stage for a while, probably like between stage appearances to get some quick carbs. For fat, I'll probably just stick with peanut butter for most of the week, and then olive oil as well. Fats are going to be like staying pretty low, probably around 40 grams per day, so probably won't have to do much of that. Greek yogurt will be a decent protein source for me. I am vegetarian if you haven't, if you were unaware and haven't been following me, so I don't eat any meat, but I have some like eggs and dairy. So I'll continue to have dairy probably through Thursday this week. I did also pick up some Lactaid, so when I'm having, a large dairy amount, I'll probably have a Lactaid pill again just to reduce any sort of bloating. And then kind of along those lines, I am switching over from whey protein concentrate to isolate. So picked up a few different tubs of protein. I got some vanilla here, chocolate, and peanut butter. Last thing is I'm tracking my water. So I picked up some gallon jugs of water. I'm basically doing like 1.25 gallons per day is kind of what I'm shooting for to be consistent. So I just drink one of those every day. I have an 8-ounce coffee in the morning, and then I have like one of my blender bottles is 24 ounces. So if I have all of that, that's 1.25. So that makes it super easy for me to be consistent with my water intake. And then the other thing I picked up are just some salt packets. So I'm tracking sodium pretty closely as well. So salt packets make it super easy to be more precise and not have to worry about like weighing every single thing on the scale with sodium. So each packet is like 200 milligrams, so I could count that and track it pretty easily. Some other things that I have to do this week is like exfoliate my skin because I have to get a spray tan. So I've been doing that. I do have to like shave my entire body, which is not fun. Probably do that on Thursday before I get my tan Friday. Looking forward to my show. Excited, a little bit nervous. See how things go. Like I said, it's been a long time, but pretty excited for it. I feel like I'm looking good. Really happy with the way things have gone throughout my prep and excited for how this peak week is going to go. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure, again, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment or question down below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.